Hello everybody, welcome back to Moneyball. Right, off camera, you have missed a little bit. You've missed a lot of defeat. This is what you missed. I'm getting a bit frustrated with some of these players, not going to lie to you. I've switched this back to complete wingback just because it wasn't going any better with wingback. And I feel like we have taken a step forwards, forgetting the fact we just lost. No, do you know what? Forget that. We lost 2-1 at home to Brighton. I forgot about that game. So, one bit of news to bring to you was this player here, Rice. His work permit got rejected again, so I don't know what to do about that. Strikers can't score. I've made one big change, though, to sort of rectify this. We've got a new assistant manager, Graham Potter. Not that Graham Potter, a new gen Graham Potter, but he doesn't have our preferred formation, but he does have more of our tactical style and stuff, right? So I thought it can't be any worse. And also, he's got model citizen as personality, so I thought he's a good little replacement for Summers, who's done a good job for us for, well, I'd say 3 years. He's been terrible this year. I mean, I could take team talks myself, but I feel like it's more fun letting the assistant manager do the first one. But it's more like a team effort, isn't it? Clough and Taylor, you know what I mean? So, going into today's game then, but I think next episode, if things aren't going well, we'll actually have enough data to start making decisions based on stats. We're still sort of getting there at this point. We're still sort of like going through games and just trying to get the best team out. So Nunley's not really played much because he's been injured. But he's going to go back in because he did play well last year. Transfers. I did forget to bring that to you. We made 2 transfers off camera. I said we might make 1 or 2. So Carlos Palacios, who was scoring very highly in the Brazilian league, comes in and looks like he's going to be a good player to play on the left because he tries killer balls, which is good, and he cuts inside. So left winger, Carlos Palacios. Brian Ocampos come in playing in the Uruguayan First Division. I think I looked at him last year. I just didn't quite have the money for him, but I always get excited when we sign players and their value goes really far up. Our coaches currently rate them at about the same level as everybody else that plays wide, so not too much of an improvement there apparently, but we shall see. Now, Barassi, when I put him up front for a game, he broke through and nearly scored a couple of times. He just missed his chances, so when he gets back from his injury, he could be a striker because everybody else has just been terrible. It's honestly been, it's unbelievable, the chances that they miss, and at the very least, when Santiago Rodriguez plays in midfield, we score from corners. That's the only positive we've really got. So at the moment, he plays as the pivot, as the box-to-boxer, and Sangare plays as the pivot. That's what's worked out to be the best balance for the team. And I thought we were on to a bit of a roll with the Palace decision. So I made a few tactical decisions, not tactical, but team selection decisions that I thought benefited us. And I didn't care about that game, so I thought we could have lost that anyway, but that was really bad. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Simic did score in that game. He's probably got a start, hasn't he? But I just have a feeling that Elias has got a score if he's done that well in the SPL, but hasn't done it for us yet. So team for today's game is going to be Messler in goal, Mane right back with Ekpetita, Raphael, and Victor Christensen at the back, who, like, I mean, that is mostly his wing back, not as complete wing back, right? So that's bad. Is he more of like a centre back, maybe? I don't know. So Rodriguez Sangare in the middle with Nunley and Jakov Anton Vasilj, on the wings, and Simic and Araujo up front. If we don't get 6 points in these 2 games, I'm going to be disappointed. 4 points even, I'd be disappointed, I think, because we need the point. If let's put it this way, if we get 3 points or less in these 2 games, we're going to be definitely in a relegation fight again, which I'm going to be very disappointed about because I thought we'd made enough transfers to get us out of that. Assistant manager says everybody expects us to lose, got them, prove them wrong. There's no pressure on us. A bit of a different tone from Graham Potter. I love that, Graham. And we are underway. It happened like almost instantly. I don't know if you noticed it, but our left back straight away dropped. It's to do with how the complete wing back gets scored, but I don't understand why it doesn't work for both roles. Like, I thought it'd be better for wing back, but it hasn't turned out that way. Nothing's happened so far. Nearly half an hour in. It's a free kick for Norwich. It's played in. He's got to be offside, hasn't he? Messley's actually made quite a few good saves. I've noticed in recent matches. I nearly was thinking at one point, do you know what, might sell him because he's not worth the money, the extra wages, but he's actually, I was hoping that was going to be a goal. He's actually made quite a few good saves in matches, as Norwich have a highlight starting quite deep in their own half. Oh, that's what I forgot to do for this game. I was going to change the way we defend. I was going to start making us engage higher because I don't see the point in what we're doing. Oh, I don't believe it. Yeah, I forgot about the tactical changes I was going to make. Please, good. Okay. Right, what I was going to do is start making this engage a bit higher so that we can press the ball, win the ball, because I feel like that when we don't get pressure on the ball and we just sit there and the defenders have it, that's not just like, although we're seeing them as defenders, we've got to imagine them almost as like some of the best players in the world on the ball, because they just destroy us. Hopefully that's offside. I think it was offside. It's a goal. Oh dear, 1-0 down. Brilliant. Well, that change worked, didn't it? I like here, Sangare to the right back to Gonzalez is whipped in. Simic going to get to it. No, that's going to be the highlight, isn't it? No, oh my goodness. He's going through. Wow. Let's put Elias on the left-hand side. I think Simic up had enough. He can come off and Palacios on the left-hand side. Honestly, I'm getting out of ideas at this point. It's ridiculous. Like, I know the tactics unbalanced, I know that. But the problem is that once you get into this sort of run, that if we were to start tweaking it, it doesn't matter. Like, it's put us so far out of form, and I don't really understand why it's so bad. Like, the strikers in particular, finally we've scored, as we've gone attacking. Elias has scored. Now, do we go? I can't go for it. I am scared if I stay and go for this against Norwich City away, that we'll concede and lose the game. That's how ridiculous this has got. I'm going to put that back to lower, because that obviously didn't work, did it? What I might do, though, is in team opposition instructions, I might put pressing on the whole back line so that we go and engage their back four quicker, as we're going to end up with a 1-1 draw, which is better than what it could have been, but still not great, satisfying. I wouldn't have said that really, but okay. Yeah, let's keep everything as it is, but let's just go opposition instructions and let's go. Oh, I thought we were doing CDMs as well. Let's try that. Get nobody back for the next game, so I guess I'll see you in a few days for that. Elias is going to start, though, because he managed to come on and get the goal. Araujo just does nothing every game. I don't understand it. Like, it's just great. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's watch the Newcastle game in extended together, and let's see what happens, all right? I'll see you in a second then for the Newcastle game. Okay, welcome back then. So we go. Newcastle. It's going to be Ocampo starting on the left wing for us because he hasn't started a game yet, whereas I did give Palacios a few starts, so we'll go with that. Elias, because he scored, gets to start up front, and we'll see how this goes. Luckily, we've got Barassi back next game. He played 3 times, I think, as a winger, played terribly. Played him up front against Liverpool, and he broke through a couple of times, just missed his chance. So I'm actually quite hopeful he'll be half decent when he comes back. So yeah, hopefully he'll be good when he comes in. As the manager says, got nothing to lose again. Okay. Likes to take the pressure off, doesn't he, this Graham Potter? There we go, then. Extended highlights. Marvin's got a knock, but he's going to start the game anyway because, I mean... Oh, and let's watch that back. Straight away, yeah. So Rodriguez, like, what in the blue hell are you doing there? Just get rid of it, mate. Play forwards. Got attacking mentality, higher tempo, play more risky passes selected, and dribble more. There's literally nothing in your settings that should be, let's take a touch and take our time. Do you know what I mean? Nothing. Big kick, whipped in. Yes, come on. Surely he's onside referee. Come on. Come on. Don't fight with me. Come on, boys. So indirect free kick, whipped in. Centre mid to centre mid. And that's why he plays. Although he's a bit rubbish there at times on the ball, he's really good on set pieces. We've scored, I think, 4 corners this season, all from him taking them. And indirect free kick there. So, I mean, if he gets us 20 goals a season from just his set pieces, I mean, we'll take that. And he didn't play central defensive midfield at all, so he's still learning to play there. So that every week that goes by, he learns to play there more and more. So hopefully that's a long-term net positive for us. And Sangare can just play as a holder. Although I think he's more effective than just a holder. It's just player selection. Because if he plays as box to boxer, I don't think Rodriguez can really play as a holder. He's 5'8". He looks like he's like a number 10 almost type of player from the reports and the stats that he got last season. But this is a problem with the tactic. Like, if you see here, that is 2v2 at the back. So if we lose the ball in this attack and they clear it, we're in trouble. Now, the problem I've got is when I put, like, you know, the pivot player to stay back more, our attack seems less lethal and we still get sprung on the counter anyway. So, like, it's almost like in real life, I would never accept this with my team. But it's like in the game, I'm happy to do it because the way that it calculates it ahead of the ball, I don't like the way that we get a net negative by making it slightly better defensively. We lose a lot going forwards. It's almost like you're better off just, in this tactic, you're better off just front overloading it and leaving this situation. But we've got full backs to be pressed quicker now, so that'd be interesting if they get the ball. These two are in the same position here. I don't know what they're doing. Oh, they got him behind. Darwin Núñez is in. Wow. Good save, Meslier. I mean, I was honestly in one game thinking, in a future video, I was thinking, to myself, in a future video, I'm going to have to mention how he's not worth keeping for the money, for the wages. I could get another keeper that could be useless and do nothing, but he's made a lot of good saves since I've had that thought. So he's actually been pretty good. Good tackle, get back in. Away. Oh, Marvin, what you done it? Oh, Campo, mate, come on. What are you doing that for? Like, I know he's under instructions to play quickly, but he could have done so much better with that. I don't want to look at the league table. It's actually pretty close. If we win this, we go 15th. If we win this, and that's having just played Norwich City away from home, so we've not had like the toughest of fixtures. I could put one wing back to be inverted. That might help stop us getting sprung on the counter, but I've tried that before. What you lose is the crosses from the wing backs. I've tried it with both sides. Like, I've tried everything I can within reason, the way that it's set up currently to work. And this is the best sum of all parts fit that I've got, but it's still deeply flawed. New assistant manager comes in, a draw away from home, we'll win it at home, could have been that. Could have been Summers that was holding us back this entire time. Right, both centre-backs are not doing well for their fitness. Let's bring on Alex. Oh, I think I've just hit the corner of my eye. I think it's 3. And finally, Araujo, who had, I think, 64% shot on target percentage when he's at Benfica, is finally scoring for us. And that was my concern with him, was when I bought him from Benfica, he had the most shots on target percentage, I think, in Europe for somebody that's played more than 10 matches. And he wasn't really getting many chances for us. And when he was missing them. It was like, well, you're useless then. You don't link up. He wasn't doing anything else that well, but now he's finally scored one. It's a bit streaky, isn't it? I mean, FM generally is a little streaky, like you get on a hot streak or a cold streak, and it affects a bit too much. But in particular, our team is very streaky, and our tactics are also very streaky. So it's a bit of the worst of all worlds when it's going against you. But it means if we can get on a good run, we could probably overachieve more than if we'd have had a more stable tactic. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those scenarios. We need to win this game desperately. And I think Elias probably can come off. He's done a good job. Wow. Oh, he could have scored that. Let's take Mane out as well and cut. Let's take off Ocampo and put on Franco Benitez, who early on in the season I played a few times and already was out on him. So we'll get the odd chance here and there, but I've seen enough of him. I think that he's going to be quite bad, actually, when we look at his stats at the end of it. His attributes, rather. Late corner here for Newcastle. We can whip it in. Goal. 3-1. He's on a 6.3, exactly what I mean. I think he's terrible. That's fine. I'm pleased that I bought 2 wingers in the transfer window. What that actually meant, by the way, is Cruz I then had to take out from being registered for the Premier League, and I tried to sell him, but nobody wanted him, or he didn't want to go anywhere. So, like, whatever we've spent this season, like 55 to 30, we've got probably, if we did sell Rice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I'd say maybe 8 players that we could sell for like over 5 million plus. And some of them, like Rice, could go for quite a lot. I hope we get him a work permit, to be honest. That's my hope for him, obviously. But thank you so much, lads, for getting me that win, because I was starting to get a bit concerned. And I find it very hard to hide my emotions on camera when it's not going very well. So that would not have been good for any of us. Right, so good episode in the end. 4 points I'm not delighted with. But I tell you, it's the fact that that game was a bit bullshit, really. I don't think they created anything good against us that made me concerned. And that game was really good. And our left striker scored the 1-1 finish. We looked solid defensively. It just looked so much better. Meslier looks very good in goal as well. But, maybe we didn't do as good defensive as I thought. He's got 8.0, but I don't know. I feel a bit more comfortable now. Like, I feel like that we should win this game now, off camera. And that means we could then, if we win that game, we'll definitely win that one. And then these two, if we drop points, it won't feel like in the game that we are on too much of a losing streak, so we can still bounce back then in this little period here, right? So, yeah, I'm more positive now than I was before this episode started. It was a nice calm episode, wasn't it? Nice little calm episode, nothing too strenuous. New assistant manager, calming influence, Graham Potter, I love it. I don't know, was he anywhere before? No, he just appeared and he's now with us. Right, next episode then. Oh yeah, Premier League looks like this, in case you didn't see it there. So we are currently 15th, and defensively is a bit of a problem for us again. I think Meslier, I'm going to try and avoid the temptation to sell him for the money if I can, because I know that surely he would be good enough, and if we're struggling still, it's partly down to the tactic, and then it's other positions. It's not only the goalkeeper, right? So I don't think he's as good as I thought he would be, which is interesting. But and we'll see. I think that we might end up having. I think he's going to be a world class signing. I think he's going to be a really good one, and I think that we probably missed a little bit in the defensive area. But that's how this is going to go. Like, what's nice about this is when you see, I think, Let's Plays on YouTube. Normally, if somebody gets to the top of their league, whatever league they're playing in, they're just going to stay there because, you can recruit better than the AI can. And as long as your tactics semi-good, you're just going to stay there and dominate, right? But in this, that's not the case. So we could become the best team in England and be really good one year. Then the next year, we could mess it all up by making 4 or 5 transfers, right? So that's what makes this so exciting. And, we could out of nowhere get relegated, or out of nowhere win the league, just like that, right? So I love this series. It's absolutely brilliant. I hope you're enjoying it still as well. Next episode then, what we're going to do then, we're going to skip definitely November, I think. We'll skip all that out. So I'm thinking, but this could change. I'm thinking originally we come back for Leicester, West Ham. We would have got through like an entire month. We'll see how we're doing. It's like it. So it'd be like we missed an entire month. It's sort of like an update episode of how things have been going pretty much. And maybe a look at money to spend in January. Or, potentially we could sell a lot of players as well, as you've seen in the 23s. And then we'll come back, I think, for Newcastle and Norwich, either side of the January transfer window being closed and opening, and then probably be the same again the opposite side. It'd be then Villa and Sheffield United. That's what I'm looking at right now. We are knocked out of the League Cup. Now that was a rotated side. In hindsight, I think I sort of half got concerned with those 2 games and thought we won't be in a relegation fight, so we need to get out of this. Because normally, if we're not going to be in a relegation fight, then that's time to go for the cups, right? But in hindsight, I wish I'd have gone for that a bit more. I think next season we'll definitely play properly in the Cups. We won't throw them. And I'll play properly in the FA Cup. Even if we're in a relegation fight, I'll try and play a proper team and try and get to the latter stages of that because it gives us a nice little different thing to play for, wouldn't it? But that's going to do the episode. Thank you very much for watching. Barnsley Football Club are surviving, just about, and I will see you next time.